Okay guys, welcome back. So this is a part 2 of the first video that we talked about a little bit of the structure of our multi-channel demo, and now we'll be taking a look at GoFabric and how we can use GoFabric to create a network, a multi-channel network based on what we talked about earlier. So if you haven't seen that video, please do. It's in the description, and then you can come back and watch this one. Okay, so before proceeding with the deployment itself, let's take a look at GoFabric and what it provides for us. And GoFabric is mainly an orchestration tool, so you can deploy Hyperledger Fabric networks easily, just filling some forms and clicking a button. And not only that, but you can manage your network, so you can add organizations, you can add other nodes, you can manage your APIs, and also you can generate chain codes based on a no-code interface, so you don't even have to code anything to use GoFabric. So here in GoFabric, we can deploy networks, create channels, we can add organizations, as I said, we can add peer, remove peer, add author, join nodes to a channel. We can upgrade our chain code, we can manage our APIs, and we can set up our VMs to work with GoFabric. Okay, so let's dive into the deployment. Okay guys, so I just did a time skip so I can fill this form without it getting too boring. And here in the first page, we have the definition of the organizations. So here we are defining our organizations based on what we saw on the previous video. So we have our International Student ID Institute, we have the Social Security Administration, we have Stanford University, we have the State Department, and we have UCLA. And all of those, they have their own nodes on a virtual machine. This can be on any cloud or on premise. So we can move on to the next step. And here we have our channel definition. So here we have our search channel, and we can see that the International Student ID, Stanford University, and UCLA, all of those are in the channel, and the Social Security Administrator and the State Department are not. And in the ID channel, we have the International Student ID, Social Administrator, and the State Department. Let's move on to the next step. Here on our first channel, we are defining the certificates chain code, and what we do is pretty much we select a template base, which is a set of transactions, and we pair it with a template, which is the definition of the assets that we are going to be using. And what is interesting about that is that you can customize your template and plug it into a template base, so you can use these capabilities with any chain code that you might want. So here for our certificates chain code, we are defining Stanford and UCLA as writers, and the other ones are going to be only readers. So we define all that for all those properties so that only the universities can register things on this chain code. Also, we have our ID channel, and here we are selecting our ID template, and our ID template, we are plugging the ID template onto GoBio functionality, so we can generate all that functionality of the ideal asset for the information that is defined on the template. If we scroll a little bit, we can see the definition of APIs and interfaces. So I'm gonna be choosing API and interface for these organizations. Now, all we need to do is hit start and watch our network be deployed. So here we are deploying 5 organizations, 2 channels, and 2 chain codes. So now we just wait for the chain code to be deployed. Okay, so our network is deployed, and we can see here a small dashboard with a bird's eye view of our network. We have 5 organizations. We have our International Student ID on the search channel and the ID channel. We have the Social Security on the ID channel, Stanford on the search channel, State Department on the ID channel, and UCLA on the search channel. And we can see each one of our channels. In the search channel, we have these organizations, and we can access their APIs. And also we can go back here and check the other one and see their APIs also. So GoFabric provides an API automatically that you can access and see, for example, a Swagger. We have all the endpoints, and you can check the transactions and execute the transactions of the chain code. And you can use this to integrate your legacy systems. For example, we can search the asset types that exist on the chain code. So we can execute this and get a response that this chain code has a document hash and a course, which is obviously the certificate chain code. And also we provide a web interface that connects automatically to this API. It functions sort of like a database client, but it's pretty much a client for the blockchain. So you can see the assets here, and you can use this to register. You can see that I have the International Student ID node right here. And these assets are read-only because we told GoFabric the permissions that we wanted. And if I access this on another node, you'll be able to see that the assets are free to write. So for example, I'm gonna access Stanford University. And right here we have the assets read-write with document hash and course. So guys, in the next video, we'll take this structure that was deployed, and we'll connect the mobile app in the interface on the APIs for each channel. We'll start transacting and watching how we can relate the information on channel 1 with the information on channel 2, using the International Student ID Institute as the organization to unify this information. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.